I also want to provide some context to this video before we get started. This video is a collaboration exposed video on one of the biggest me content creators, Yoda Killer 3000, otherwise known as Cody. I am here with me Tonio and River, who is Cody's ex-girlfriend, and we are exposing criminal activity, creepy behaviors, and numerous other serious allegations that Cody has been doing or has done. And a couple of disclaimers. We do not encourage harassment of any sort, and we do not encourage anyone to attack Cody or anyone else mentioned. Our goal is to just spread awareness and to keep River, who is the main victim, safe, as well as the community. People think that Cody is someone that should be looked up to, and many people say that he is a perfect content creator. But from the stuff I've been shown in the past few months to things I have seen over the years, I can safely say that Cody should not be in the online world. And he's one of the sickest people I've seen online. This is by far the longest and most serious exposed video I have ever posted on my channel. I encourage you all to watch until the end, as this will leave a lot of you absolutely shocked. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Some of y'all may not know me, but my name is River, and I am the ex of Yoda Killer 3000. To give you a background between me and Yoda Killer 3000, we had met in 2020. I looked up to him, and I was inspired by him to make me animations. Well, we originally started talking 101 early January of 2021. Now, he admitted he had a crush on me when I was 15 years old. I did not catch the hint, and I thought he was just kind of weird. Now, fast forward to when I was 16 years old, I had admitted I liked him, after he told me that, the poem was to show that he was flirting with me and had a crush on me. And yes, we had a consensual relationship when he was 19 years old and I was 16. I did not meet this man until December of 2024 when I was 18 years old and he was 21. Despite my parents' and friends' warnings for me not to go down there because I had met him online and they knew some of the actions that his mother has done and said to me and him, I still went against their backs. I went down there a total of 3 times, and I ended up confessing about going there the 3rd time to my family, and I got scolded for it, obviously, because they didn't want me around him. And unfortunately, that last vacation ended up with the police and being grabbed and a lot of other horrible things. And to make matters worse, Cody was telling me stuff about he wanted to kill himself and he felt abused and this and that, and I tried to come up and offer up to help him by moving in with his former college friend, and it eventually got into a major just screaming and arguing conversation. And then, long story short, I talked to him today, and I tell him my plans to jump off a bridge. I told him those plans, and he just accused me of attention seeking, despite knowledge of being in a mental hospital in 2024 over having issues like this.
Said she was going to jump off that bridge that one night too. She told me that, and I mean, I'm looking over that and I'm thinking like, no, you don't say you're going to commit suicide, just commit suicide. That's how that works. She's looking for attention. She's literally just looking for attention.
You are factually wrong, okay? You have no intelligence whatsoever. You don't just say shit like that, man. There's people going through so much stuff, going through so many thoughts like that, and you say, oh, they just don't communicate. Shut the fuck up, man. You are fucked in the head. And the fact you want to call me an attention seeker, when you did not ever recontact me, you did not ever talk to me when I was going through all that, I'm just gonna send you in some private voice messages in the body cam of how upset that made me, dude. You really think this is attention seeking? Could you imagine, dude? Could you imagine, man, being in that tub? It just makes me feel so scared. It makes me feel so fucking scared about what happened that night. It makes me so scared I have to see and hear shit that's not there. I see hands on my wrist. Okay? I hear voices. I don't want to hear them. I hear things that tell me nobody loves me and nobody ever listens to you. You're nothing, River. That's what I hear in my head sometimes. And it scares me, okay? I don't really feel like I'm worth it at times because the person I close to me doesn't even think I'm worth anything. That hurts, okay? That absolutely hurts, man. All that history, all that stuff, just to throw it away. I have a nightmare of the past that I didn't even cause, okay? It's like, all this stuff was said to me. All this stuff, all that screaming was done to me. But I'm the problem because I'm now reacting to it because it makes me hurt. It hurts my feelings. I'm not a sensitive ass person, okay? But it's just like the constant amount of humiliation, the words, all of that shit said to me, done to me. It finally puts pressure on you and you finally just crack. 6 years. 5, 6 years. Oh, I want to see you, River. Oh, I want to see you as me friends. Oh, I like you, River. Oh, you're just like Siegfried, right? And then when I get to it, it goes down like this. It goes down with it's okay for her to say you're not pretty. It's okay for her to say that. It's okay for her to say all that to you that hurts your feelings. Oh, you're just too sensitive, River. Oh. Am I really sensitive? If I have to go through reliving it every damn day. Every damn day, and it gets worse. Voices get worse. I hear things that aren't there. I hear more voices that I don't know what they are. But it's like you were worth nothing. You weren't worth jack shit to the person who always said you were your favorite person in the world. Oh, I love you, brother. Oh, my mom hurts me and stuff. What are you gonna do about that? What do I do? Just sit there? No! You can't just sit there and let somebody get hurt. You can't do it. I spend all my days by myself. Oh my gosh, everybody online. If they knew how bad of a state I was in, I'd be so embarrassed. Nothing's gonna change. I'm gonna be harassed, and it's never gonna end. It's always my fault. It's always my fault. It's always me having to compromise to go down there because he couldn't come up here, and I didn't want his mom near me like that. It makes me uncomfortable. I just want to be an independent-ass adult with one independent-ass other adult. I tried to tell him, he was upset about that night, and I am too, and I'm the one traumatized by it, and he doesn't want to think about it, so he changed the topic. I want to forget about it, okay? I want to forget about it, but it does not go away. Listen, he doesn't understand what PTSD is, man, and that just makes it worse. I'm getting to be traumatized because of what went down in that house, okay? And it don't matter how long ago it was, I still get fucking horrible ass reminders of it. I want to forget about it. I wish I could hit my head and never remember it. I wish I never went down there at times, man. But please, it is so bad. And he won't have that conversation with me. He won't have the hard conversation with me because, it's not even worth it. You won't even talk to me.
Hey, honey, what's going on? Hey, I'm up. He's fine, honey. I'm Deputy Flores. So here, let's go back over here. Do you have any weapons or anything on you? Do you have an identification card?
Yes, ma'am. I'm from Mississippi.
Is that your current address on your driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so what's going on? Just a little bit snippet.
Cody, he's my boyfriend.
Hold on, give me a second. Let me see. Alright. I'm just trying to make sure. Okay. You don't want to be involved with something like this, right?
He's always told me this.
No, I totally understand that, but it's gonna be difficult, right? My recommendation is, why don't you get a hotel tonight? Stay out, You're probably not safe to drive to Mississippi tonight, right? Because you're very, emotional. So maybe get a hotel in town. Wait for the weather to.
I'm worried about that. I didn't know she put her hands on me tonight, man, trying to take my phone away. I don't know what she would have done. She could have broken that phone. I could have been stuck here without a phone or no contact to my parents, man. I could have been lost here, man. That's my GPS, too. My phone is my GPS. I do not have a GPS in that car. I'm just saying, I'm very worried. I'm very worried for Cody. I'm just very scared of what they're doing.
You gotta wait for what my partner says, what he investigates.
I'll wait all night, man. I'm scared for him. Now, y'all may be asking me, what happened to get to this point? It was my last day of vacation in Florida. I lied to my family and friends up in Mississippi about my whereabouts. They did not want me around Cody or his family after my mother got in a fight with his mother in April. It's August 2nd, 2025. I clocked out of the hotel earlier. I drove to the house. Cody unloaded his belongings from my car, but he forgot a simple pair of underwear. We could not find it anywhere. His mother got aggravated really quickly over it. I wanted to go to BAM Books A Million, and he wanted to go to the arcade one last time before I went home. Throughout being out, his mother called him about the underwear and both were bickering over it being missing. After visiting those places, we made it back to his house. His mother was cooking ribs that night. We were watching the kitten they had. It was now time to eat. Cody put the kitten up in the cage. While having dinner, a loud crashing sound occurred. Everyone basically dismissed it with being thunder. After dinner, I can't remember who went up the stairs, but someone discovered the cat cage fell over. There was an argument between Cody and his mother. She continues to argue as he tries to apologize to make it die down. Yelling begins and I get scared, covering my ears on the couch. I remember Cody frantically grabbing things, trying to whisper something to me I could not figure out. I began to realize he was trying to ask me to run away with him. I didn't know how to react or was aware he could not leave from being an adult under guardianship. He gave things to me like hygiene products and I just stuffed them in my purse. He went upstairs trying to fill a backpack of stuff and locked his room so his mother couldn't find out. Now, she comes downstairs asking me if I had any knowledge of Cody wanting to run away with me. I was scared, said no as if I was confused. Then Cody came down the stairs saying he wanted to run away with me. I tried to de-escalate the situation. I firmly asked him to think about that and if he was sure. He said yes, but his mother interrupted, saying that she would call the police on me because he legally cannot go anywhere. I immediately did not push to take him. She tried to pull the backpack away from Cody, starting a physical altercation. He then pulls out his phone in an attempt to call 911. His mother and stepdad restrained him, stopping him from calling the police. In Florida, it is a serious crime to stop somebody from calling the police, regardless if they are your guardian. He begged me to call the police, so I did. Now here comes the part where I explain the 911 call. At the start, I'm begging to get the police over. The operator is asking me what's going on. I said domestic violence because of how they grabbed him. His mother saw me on the phone, releasing him to get towards me to shut off the call. I think she was telling me to leave, but with her blocking the exit and rushing towards me in a way I felt threatened, I ran into the bathroom and climbed in the tub. Cody tries to block the threshold of the door to keep her away. He even screamed, "Leave her alone," on the call for his mother to stay away from me. She pushes past him and gets towards me. In the 911 call, you will hear me suddenly screaming and a slight thud when I hit the tub bottom. She initially tried to slap the phone out of my hand, but it wouldn't let go. Then she put her hands on my wrist, attempting to pry the phone from my hands. In my head, I was in fear if she stole that phone from me, that was my GPS to get home and my only means of contact with my family. Imagine being 900 miles away from your family without them knowing where you were. It scared me. In an act of self-defense, I used my feet to push her back from me. She is pushed back and the stepdad's watching outside the bathroom saying, "You're fine." I make the attempt to escape the house. Before I could get out that door, she grabbed me by the left arm and pushed me outside herself. I briefly looked back, seeing them all in the house still. By this point, I don't want to be a trespasser, so I grab my shoes and run to my car. As I run, she chased me outside the gate as I jumped in my car and put it in reverse. I only drive off the property to wait for the police to arrive. Now they arrive. I point at the house where they are. They all leave me at my car and question his mother first. In that time frame, I call my sister to report what happened. The female police comes up to me, and it's an entire hour of being interviewed. The police report is missing a lot of info. I begged them to listen to me, that his mother grabbed me, but they made the excuse of, well, Cody is a problem, and you were asked to leave. I tried to leave, but she ran towards me, scaring me. They did tell me I could say goodbye, and I asked them to come with me, but they said his mother doesn't want cops. I had the entire 70-minute body cam. We'll get into that later. I watched his mom shut the front door on me from the street. I was going to the hotel for the night to stay alone. I had texted a voice message to Cody in a ton of fear. He called me. I had a major panic attack when his mom started talking on the phone. I was aware of stories of her locking him outside, and I feared for his safety. I was terrified, but I returned to the house. I did not want to leave him. I remember sobbing on his chest so hard that I ended up choking myself to sleep. And before I knew it, I began to show signs of psychotic PTSD. That's the end of that day.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
It's Wallace Avenue.
Okay, just confirm the city that's in for me.
I don't know domestic violence. I don't know. Please.
Okay, ma'am.
I want you to understand, like, the background, you see where they're yelling, right?
Pretty
That's what I'm
much.
saying, man. It's about to get a lot worse. So,
Right on. I can
Ma'am.
get into it.
Hello?
Hey, what's happening?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Please.
This call is being recorded.
Hello?
This call is no longer.
Ma'am, can you hear me? Hello?
look right there where he's saying leave her alone. That's me. If nothing was
Right.
going on and she was not a threat to me, why would he say leave her alone?
Literally shows all the way.
Dude, I'm saying, it's about to get worse too, man. It's about to get worse. You're probably gonna hear, I don't know if you heard the little thud before. I think that was when I kind of fell backwards
I
in the
heard
bathtub.
when you like ended up falling behind yourself. That's when you were holding your phone.
Yeah, you know, actually, when it said this call has been recorded, I had my phone so close to my head, I was trying to talk, I was scared.
Thought that's when it like kind of like cut off. So yeah.
Hello?
Oh, here it comes.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Stop it. Look. No. It's right there. He's saying, stop it. And there's me screaming. Yeah, I was grabbed by, this is the part where I got grabbed by the wrist. We haven't seen the arm part yet. That's going to be a little later in there. She didn't grab me just once. She grabbed me twice. The first time was to get the phone out of my hand because, you know, she had just committed a crime in front of me, dude. It is a crime in the state of Florida. In fact, I think it's a felony to grab somebody. It don't matter if they're your ward or not. If you try to grab somebody and attempt to stop them from calling 911, it is a felony. I watched that go down first before this 911 call. He told me to call the police, so I did. And you know what? She tries to stop me from calling the police because she knows she can get some serious trouble. Because you know it's illegal. It's a felony to stop somebody from calling 911.
This is not okay.
No, man. That right there, it's a now, she's grabbed me. That's now considered battery and assault. And not to mention, it's attempted theft to take away somebody's phone. Intimidation trying to stop me from calling 911. That's of course a crime. That right there, I looked it up, man. That's at least 5 years in prison for that. You wonder why they're trying to hide it.
Right. Exactly.
It's gonna get a lot worse. So hold tight here.
Hello?
I'd also like to add another thing. If nothing was happening, if I was not in fear of my life, why would I be screaming like that? This entire thing is the reason why I got PTSD. I did not start any medication until August for PTSD, right after it happened. I remember the day I came into that office, I was like crying. I was crying. I remember crying, and I remember being put on Seroquel. They started me at small doses, and it got worse. I'm on 600 milligrams now. It's gonna get a lot worse, man. So hold tight on this one. Everybody seems a little agitated. It's gonna get a lot worse.
Right.
Go.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Okay, ma'am, tell me exactly what happened.
Can you hear me? Please.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Let me tell you another thing, right? Under
Okay.
Florida law, me freaking out like this is considered excited utterance. This is enough to prove an assault happened.
Given by many evidences, especially since you have the call alone, you can literally hear it from the screen.
Why would he tell somebody, why would he tell his mother to leave me alone if she weren't posing a risk towards me?
Exactly.
And she's gonna grab me again at this next point. You'll probably hear it after I'm like freaking out. I can't even pay attention to the 911 operator. I'm in so fucking distress.
Because even then, like, okay, so like the thud happened right first. You fell on first. That's when you were given by the wrist, and then the second part where it comes around.
Yeah, I fell back, you know, because she was trying to grab me and I tried to duck in that tub, man.
Right.
I was so scared. And you know, I want you to know what's going through my mind, right? Okay, this is what's going through my mind. I'm 900 miles away from everybody. That phone is my GPS and my way of contacting people. In my head, I'm thinking, what's gonna happen if she takes this phone from me? What if she breaks it? I will be stuck here by myself.
No
these people,
contact.
dude.
I mean, there will be a lot of people worried necessarily. That would also include your parents for this matter.
Yeah, they told me not to do this, by the way, and I can see why. I was just too fucking stubborn, you know, to to listen to them. I was so dead set on this dude. I felt bad, okay?
Of life relationships work. I mean, you wanted to see Cody because, I mean, given by the fact that you've idolized this guy for 5 years. So you got the attempt to do this with him beforehand, and you thought maybe perhaps it would have been something good. And even then, love can be blind sometimes. It can have their occurrences where situations like this happen. Still, sucks to suck. Not in any negative manner, but like in any case, considering that Cody's mom, of all cases, basically treated you this way. Right.
But we're gonna continue this call, and it's gonna get a little worse.
Hello?
I'm assuming this is the part where I hear get out, because I think I heard that.
Yep, that's the part where she's telling me to get out. I want you to notice that she sounds angry in this clip, but when the police come, she sounds all scared.
Her parents don't even know she's here right now.
You don't, that is called two-faced behavior. That's called, you know you've done wrong. It's on the recording that you have been aggressive. That tone is aggressive. And I would understand in her perspective why, because she's got a motive. She cannot let people know that, she did this, this, and this to me, because it's a felony what she did to me. She committed at least 4 crimes against me. And oh my gosh, man, there's many more to go. Now, I want you to notice at this point, when she's telling me to get out, I'm trying to run past her, okay? I tried to get out the first thing, but she was blocking the exit. I could not get out, so I freaked out and ran into the bathtub because she was coming towards me, dude. I don't want to hit people. I don't want to fight people. I know assault is bad, so that's why I backed up. But I was cornered in the bathroom. Cody jumped between the threshold. I was in that bathroom, and I'm on the call like, please, please, please. And then, you'll hear a thud, and that's like when she's already coming through, man, because I'm like, oh my God, it's coming right at me. And I'm being grabbed by the wrist. The first thing she tries to do is slap the phone out of my hand.
Right.
She got too close to me.
What exactly
I kicked
are you
her,
supposed
dude.
to do, considering that you're cornered inside a bathtub and you have no, you don't know exactly what to do if you're just on a phone call just trying to warn what's going on? Like, self-defense here is mandatory, just making sure you're not going to get hurt.
Yeah, I admitted to the officers I did that. She finally pushes past Cody, and he's coming in there, and I'm like, I fell over in the bathtub because I'm freaked out, and she's trying to grab the phone and shut it up, and I'm in self-defense. I was trying to kick her and push her back away from me because she was cornering me, and I was laying down in the bathtub, I'm screaming and freaking out, and she's trying to grab my phone and grab my hand. I'm freaking out because she's trying to take my stuff away from me, and I'm freaked out because now she's put her hands on me, and I'm trying to kick back and get away from me, And by the way, if you're that close up to somebody on a 911 call, if you're that close, it's already obvious that you're getting too close. That's too much, man. That's intimidation. That's battery. If you're too close to me to get kicked while I'm upside down in a bathtub, you're already too damn close. She has a motive to shut me up because what she did is illegal.
I'm giving a freaking cease and desist. Well, we'll mention that later, though.
I'm just saying, we'll mention that in a minute here. But it's like, I'm being accused right now of trying to attempted kidnapping. Would I call the police if I was going to kidnap somebody? I know she told me that if he got in that car with me, that'd be illegal. So I said, nah, let's not do that. Okay? And then, one thing led to another. They started pulling a backpack. And, they grabbed his phone trying to take it from him. I was scared for him, and he was begging me to call the police, so I did that. I would not call the police if I was going to commit a crime. That's just counterproductive.
You wanted to be too sure if Cody was ready for this particular decision. That's why you straight up asked him,
and
are you sure of this?
I did. I asked him right before. I was like, you got to think about this, dude. Are you sure of this? And when he said yes, that's when his mother made that comment. And I was like, okay, we're not doing that then because that's illegal. I've discouraged him for years not to run away, okay? And he's telling me, all this abuse is going on, then yeah, I might want to act. I tried to tell the police. They would not believe me. And, I had the chance to press charges. I said, can I press charges? And they're like, you'll have to talk to the supervisor. I decided to keep my mouth shut at the end of it, man, because I was a little worried what the situation would be. That's why I didn't press charges.
Right.
And I regret it a lot. You see that screen right there? That's the part where she grabbed me by the arm and was pulling me outside after I was already trying to get past her and run off. It says, get the hell out of my house or whatever, and okay, I oblige. I go to the house, I'm leaving or whatever, then she puts her hand on me and pushes me outside and locks the door. I felt like I was in danger, okay? And I was told to leave, So, by that point, I'm trespassing despite his trying to interrupt my 911 call, which is a felony. And, I'm trying to get out because I'm in fear of what she just did to me, dude. She just grabbed me. Okay? I'm in fear that she is going to try to take my phone away again. So I'm trying to run out of here. She grabs me by the arm and pulls me out herself, and I start screaming because I'm scared. Why are you touching me? Okay? Why are you touching me? She chased me out of the house through the gate. Okay? I try to grab my shoes. I grab my shoes and I kind of run off or whatever. And, I'm trying to get in my car or whatever, and she's coming out the house, man. She's coming right out the house, she opens up that gate back there or whatever, and she's over that gate, and she's screaming at me and cussing at me to get out, and I'm pulling the car out, and I'm going over here, and then I kind of pulled over here, and while I was on the phone with the police, 911 or whatever, and I pulled over here. I didn't want to get away from the scene because I knew I'd have to talk about this. I remember that very clearly. She chased me out the house, through the lanai, through the gate. I backed my car out, and I got off their property. You're gonna hear that in a minute. I'm just gonna break down sobbing.
Just trying to attempt to make sure that nothing came across. You didn't do anything of any assaults. You were just trying to follow yourself, not trying to break any issue of the law. So you were just compliant to yourself regardless of that.
How is somebody gonna think in this situation? All right? How is somebody gonna think, oh, am I gonna leave somebody here? It's like, I felt bad for the dude. I felt bad. I was scared for him. He had told me many stories about what this woman did to him.
That's mainly what you, as a person who cares pretty much does.
Hello?
Wait, pause one thing for a second. That way we'll finish up the 3 minutes and then we'll just talk everything out.
Please, can you hear me?
Ma'am, tell me exactly what happened. Okay, I understand that there's a domestic violence situation. Tell me what's happening right now.
Please. Please.
What is happening?
My boyfriend's going to attack me.
Your boyfriend is what?
He's going to attack me, please.
Your boyfriend attacked you?
His mom is going to attack me, please.
Okay, ma'am, I can't understand what you're saying. Your boyfriend attacked you?
His mom attacked me. His mom attacked me.
His mom?
Yes. Please get the police over here.
Okay, they're on the way. They're coming as fast as they can. Are you injured? Okay, I can't hear what you're saying. Are you still there?
The address. Let me give you the address.
Okay, ma'am, I have the address. What is your name?
You can look at me. I ran away from the house. The mother pushed me out of the house. She pushed me. I got in the bathtub or whatever. She put her hands on me.
Okay, are you separated right now?
I'm separated, yes, ma'am, but I'm on the street. My car is right nearby. And please, they're hurting my boyfriend in there.
Okay, is your mom or is your boyfriend's mom attacking him? Hello?
Hello? Hello, please, help.
All right, ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath for me. I understand that you're outside. You said your boyfriend is still inside?
The boyfriend is still inside. My boyfriend is still inside. They're hurting him. They're grabbing. He put his hands on them.
Okay, are they physical inside the house?
They are physical inside the house.
They
Inside
are
the house.
physical?
I was pulled over to another place. I got my car away from the place. I'm there too. Please, there's got to be some cops coming up. Please.
Okay, are they physical right now inside the house?
I think so. I cannot tell. I got away from the place, man. Mom pushed me out the door. Please, I think I see some cops. There's some cops. Hey. Please, somebody. The police are here.
They're there now?
Yes,
2nd, 2025, 20 hours, 28 minutes, 23 seconds.
This alone, to begin, a lot, considering everything that had happened for the rest of the 5 minutes. It's a lot to take in, obviously. Because, like,
It is, man.
you were pretty much just complying to everything that had happened throughout. As you can see from the video itself, here within Rivers, you can pretty much tell that there were some thuds, considering that she ended up calling the police against her boyfriend, or ex-boyfriend, Cody's mom. And she ended up tripping inside the bathtub. In terms, I don't believe she was hurt. For most ways, why I'm testifying about this video is occurrences from everything that I've been told around. As a wham, I am a witness to certain cases that will be mentioned later.
The basic rundown is they were getting physical. He asked me to call the police because they're trying to take the phone from him. I call the police. She sees me, tries to get me out of the house, but she comes towards me. I feel like it's a threat. I'm scared. I run into the bathroom. Cody jumps in the threshold. She tries to get to me towards the threshold. As he blocks it, she pushes past him. And in an attempt to get, like, duck or, you know, dodge, whatever, because
I hear that your ex-boyfriend basically just said to leave you alone from his, especially. And I mean, you had the phone with the police, so did Cody, but apparently, yeah, there was another situation from there. But even then, you can see that his mom ended up grabbing you by the wrist at first cases. That's what happened when you ended up falling into the bathtub. That you basically yelled to get out of the house.
Yes, I tried to get out of the house, but when you got somebody in the way chasing you, I'm not trying to start a fight with somebody, okay? I'm scared. You're chasing me. You're blocking my exit. You're making me feel threatened and scared, okay? I would get out of the house. You know, now, if they were on the other side of the house, I would have ran out that door quick. I would have ran. That would have never happened because she was in my way, okay? Right. She grabbed me in the tub, and, you know, she's getting so close to me. I'm trying to use my feet to push her back because she's on top of me, dude. You know, I would like to add, you know, the assault didn't happen just cause. The assault happened because she wanted me to shut up from the phone. She wanted the police not to hear what was going on. And why? Why would she want me not to call the police? Because she committed a felony in front of me.
Protecting her own image beside what's going on here.
Exactly, that's always the case. It's a felony in the state of Florida, all right? To stop somebody from calling 911. It don't matter if they're your ward, okay? It doesn't matter. It's abusive. That's abuse right there. You have just, congratulations, you committed ward abuse and stopping somebody from calling 911. Not to mention going after somebody else. I'm a grown adult. You now have committed assault on an adult and battery on an adult and attempted theft on an adult and interference with a 911 call with an adult. That's at least 5 years in prison for all those charges, at least. Right. If not fines and that.
Alone, given by the fact that you are a person from a different estate, and this is what's going on, especially from that end, so it would be considered, since this is basically just a random person. I mean, given then, I mean, putting your hands on someone that isn't blood related in that way.
It's even worse when it's family, dude. It's a lot worse. How can you ever hurt somebody that's part of your own family? You know, that's embarrassing. Okay? Right. And I mean, I can't say my family's perfect myself, man. I mean, there's a lot of things that's been through my own family, man. I don't excuse it though. Right. That's the difference between me and him.
Because keep in mind, case we understand that as for parents and children, parents have their rights to discipline their children. But in certain situations like this, I mean, there are a lot of confusions, especially when Cody himself has revealed to River in terms of like how he's been treated by his mom, or in terms like that. There are text messages to prove that necessarily.
I've got all the text to prove all of it.
Right.
And you know, it's like, you know, I want you to notice my demeanor in that entire video. You see, I cannot pay attention to the 911 operator. I'm screaming, please. I'm not attending to it. I'm freaking out, dude. I'm absolutely freaking out. I can't think straight. I'm so scared because something happened to me. I'm so scared because I watched some crimes get committed on me and in front of me, dude. I want somebody to imagine, dude, if I was faking all that, I would be a lot more straightforward, man. I'm not, that's considered, in Florida, that's considered excited utterance.
Right.
That can be used in court if I felt like it.
Even then, we even got the police, like, footage camera for this.
Every last bit of it. I've got the entire 70-minute testimony, man. I've got the police reports too. There's 2 of them. There's my story and her story. So I mean, I can move on to the police report. There's 2 police reports. Here's the 911 call itself right here, man. It's, you've already been over it. I want y'all to look at this right here, man. See, you're gonna look, and these are two different reports. The top one's her testimony, the bottom one's my testimony. Now, the same thing happened, you know, the cat fell and all that. And you know what, dude? Actually, you know, I'm not even gonna call him Cody anymore. His name's Yoda Killer to me. Anyways, man, Yoda Killer over here.
Good.
Yoda Killer over here!
All right.
To mention my ripped up shirt, not to mention, you know, all these interactions I've had with her myself up front. I will say, you know, my mother got her on. And by the way, before y'all see what my mother's gonna write, man, I'm already gonna go ahead and say she's a grown woman. She made that choice. I do not approve of what she did, so that's not on me. She's a grown woman and she chose that, and I don't approve of what she did, but that's for later. Did I know you want, man? Because it's in the call where I'm literally screaming and his own words are saying leave her alone.
Just about one thing about this whole paper. So like keep in mind at the, well, second to last paragraph. Due to Brenda having guardianship signed by the judge over Cody, she has within her legal right to restrain Cody from leaving Mississippi. Now keep in mind in this situation alone, River particularly asked Cody if he was sure of the decision of Mississippi. And necessarily, Cody, I guess in his...
He immediately agreed.
Cody himself basically agreed to this certain only being sure like...
But here's the part, man. I did not know about that thing right there, the guardianship thing. I didn't really know much about it. And when she said the police were going to be on my ass if he not do it, then, you know, I really called the police because they were restraining him from calling the police. It's a felony, so that's why I called the police. He begged me to.
And in that alone of just going to Mississippi straight up, you decide, you know, try to compel, do what is necessarily right, just talk to the police so that way minimal damage is escalated necessarily.
I'm not going to take somebody to Mississippi knowing that, you know, that's considered kidnapping. I would not call the police if I was going to kidnap somebody. That was his idea, not my idea. My idea was, okay guys, I'm going home today.
You just want, like, in any occurrence, you just wanted to be sure if Cody was right on the decision, making sure that he was safe. As Cody basically stated, and especially from multiple screenshots alone, where how he basically felt, how his mom treated him with River in most cases on screenshots. There's a lot of screenshots there, obviously.
It's gone on since, like, I believe 2022.
Given by what happened to the police report as a summary, as even the police themselves said, that just because, you know, considering they're police guardians alone, much can be done. In certain cases, this is pretty much in works where Cody would have to at least speak up and say something. It's not okay to be treating your son or daughter or any case like that to be treated like poorly like that. And if everything in any case came around, Cody would have to speak up.
I will add this in, okay? I did come back after all of it. Now, people are gonna ask me, why did you come back? Why did you come back? I was scared for him, okay? Honestly, I was scared for him. I did not want to leave, and I came back because, you know, we had a call and I was freaking out, but I did come back because I already knew that he had told me that she had done so much stuff to him. I was scared for him. I was like, if I leave, is she gonna do something like to him?
We were given the permission to say goodbye to Cody necessarily, but you still did. But you came back only in cases of just trying to make sure that he was safe. Even afterwards,
I came back after we contacted.
This all happened around nighttime. You had what happened, and then you came back at night just to say goodbye, but you stayed with him in most cases in any manner.
I remember I came back, dude. I remember I just cried myself to sleep that night. I remember that shit, man. I choked and passed out. Like, I was that messed up, dude. It was bad, man. And I started having, you know, first things that started happening, I started having reoccurring nightmares. Sometimes I started hearing auditory stuff, then I got hallucinations. And I didn't want to really say much to him about it because I was like, oh shit, man. Here's the thing, though. The only reason I had hallucinations beforehand was because of ADHD medication. That was it. Let me tell you though, controlled stimulants have a risk of carrying, you know, like hallucinations and stuff. It was only hallucinations and stuff, man. And then I started going, like, after this event, I started getting full-blown flashbacks, nightmares, all of this auditory and hallucinative stuff, man. I even made sure it wasn't my medication by not taking it. I remember crying the first day I came in, you know, after that happened or whatever, and my nurse said, oh, you got some serious PTSD, I'm gonna put you on Seroquel. I do not have schizophrenia. Dude, it's like you're saying that you can easily disprove everything I'm saying, yet you don't have one screenshot. You know those police reports you say you have that I also have? Are you aware that you sided with my story, not your mother's? That's actually hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Same thing
Can't
with
do
the
that.
Karotomo server. You were, I assume, temporarily banned, or I'm assuming now fully banned. How exactly can people be on your side if there's no way of defending yourself and you're not even doing that?
I've seen the mod mail messages he sent. I've seen it. I've talked to a moderator, and they sent me what he said, and it was basically a copy and paste of what he sent you.
River has been not only just my best friend in the meat community for 5 years, but it's someone that I've genuinely cared for so much. And I get it, that also does conclude a lot, especially from like my November, December situation. I know that there were people very concerned about, or I guess worried if concerned what was like she was on my side.
Called you, I was like, part of me is like, I'm gonna do this shit tonight, and the other part of me is like, somebody please make me stop. And I remember just like disassociating with everything around me as I was driving to Memphis. It was a fucking bad scene. And I remember the days after that, I remember having more violent nightmares, like a lot of hallucinations related to, you know, what went through me. I would see it's like melted faces of the people that, you know, were surrounding me that night.
As much as I remember, definitely after like the whole attempt that happened, like the aftermath, obviously we were still talking about it. Again, there were two calls that happened. The first one that happened when the actual call, and then the second one because I was out there checking up on her. Keep in mind, I do call and check up on River almost every day. I mean, I've been doing that since from then to today. This is obviously where all of these screenshots come around of what River had told me about like what's been going on. I mean, I knew about River's issues. For it to get to the point where she almost ended up committing to it, at that rate, things were just way too far to this rate where, like, having to add this as part of the video, it's mandatory. Because, like, a lot of this took a turn, okay? From one who, like, developed a lot of PTSD and now going through issues of defamation, obviously.
You cannot just get away with doing that to somebody, and it's like, you cannot just excuse it by saying, oh, defamation, but honestly, it hurts me to do this to you, man, but I had to defend myself now, because now you're saying stuff, and I don't want to be accused of something I did not do, so I'm having to show everybody what went on, you know, to tell them the truth, because you clearly lack to provide evidence, man.
And, like, it makes me question how you can honestly think that what River goes through is considered attention, or it's like to the point that you can't necessarily handle. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. I'm sure you know that too. And there are going to come times that even then, if River supposedly be going through a lot, if it's too much for you, then, I mean, all River out here is doing is just basically telling you how she feels. And if you cannot consent to that in terms of like, oh, like being in issues between her, your mom, because you're kind of in mix betweens to see like, oh, who do you want to be in sides with? Like, here's the thing, I get it. There's no issues when you have to choose your mom in certain ways. But sometimes there are lines that need to be drawn that you gotta be there for your girlfriend first cases. A lot of times you always have to be in a lot of communications with this, even if it's sometimes hard truths that are not the ones that you want to even say.
You cannot just walk away from it, man. It's not gonna go away. And you think that it's gonna go away. You just want me to stop doing this? I want you to stop lying to people. Everybody in Mirror Tech knows who you're talking about, okay? Now, the police come to my grandmother's house. They asked me to pick up a letter or whatever. I was gonna do it. Problem is, I was having, you know, one of those days. I had problems with my PTSD at that point. I was trying to get medication adjusted. I couldn't do it by myself. So my mother was gonna do it, but then she got busy with other stuff, so I really couldn't do anything about it. I was only given a few hours notice about it. Okay, I can't, I'm sorry, you should have given me like a further thing or whatever, but you know, it eventually came to my house, and it's a cease and desist letter. And it's stating, you know, that I'm lying about stuff, but let me tell y'all one thing, man. Anybody can make a cease and desist letter. Anybody can start a defamation lawsuit. That doesn't automatically mean that they're telling the truth, okay? I've already looked that up, okay? APS report, man. I was scared to report it the first time. I was so scared of like a lot of things going really badly with me being around at that time.
All of the situation that came around within the whole police report, she was generally concerned for most safeties because she knows the hand. She didn't want to make some sort of issue where there can be arrest, or she didn't want to be away from this guy at any point. Obviously, when they were together at the time.
Knowing what Yoda Killer here has sent me about what his mother does to him when he does things wrong. I mean, literally, I got a screenshot of him claiming his mother threw a DVD player at him, threatened to kill him, and pulled his hair. Okay? Now, what if this APS report did not go the right way? I would be found out, because everybody knows I'd done it. We'd be separated. You'd probably be somewhere. You'd probably get punished. Okay? Like that. Okay? So I was scared for your safety, because, you know, APS doesn't do crap, man. I've been through CPS with, like, all of like my parents or whatever. Okay, that's another ordeal. What happens if I'd failed? That's what I was scared of. I was scared to report it. And you know, the police did ask me, why didn't you press charges? Why didn't you make a report? I had told them like I was scared and I didn't believe the police were gonna believe me, okay? But I've got way too much evidence now. Now I know there's too much evidence to prove against you. About my mother, it's gonna get hard. We're gonna talk about my mother. Oh Lord. Before anybody says anything, I warned her don't do this. I told her don't do this. I told her no, don't do this. Do not. Don't. Period. Do not do it, okay? But no, she, being an adult, in her 50s, she made this decision, and I do not endorse this at all, okay? Because this is pretty fucked up. It was so fucked up to the point I had to Google what the word gash meant, okay? If y'all know what that means, God bless you. Now, she was the main person who did not want this relationship to happen, along with my grandmother, but, you know, she was kind of a little less on about it. Now, you know, I get the understanding, oh, this guy is like, you met him online, and I'm like, trying to explain to him, no, I can promise you, he's a good person. Fucking wrong with me. There's some things that go on, you know, and I come back and tell my mother about, you know, things that happen, you know, like, coaster incident, some text messages that his mother had sent me or whatever. I had showed her the text messages. She had seen me, really upset about something or whatever. And she had just kind of observing me own strict thing about you shouldn't be meeting people online. And she's got a point. Okay, she's got a point. To say I did go against her, yeah, that's on me. That's absolutely on me. We had a 3-way call or whatever. And my mom, you know, she acted all nice and all that. But she did call me up privately and she said that they were a bunch of screwballs. Going through, you know, hearing what I was telling her, whatever, and showing her photos of what was sent to me and all that, she just said they're a bunch of screwballs, as in they were crazy. Now, I do verbally say that, you know, that's what my mother said. I'm stating what she said, you know, to tell you, you know, this is how she feels about it. And it's just a text message. It's like, no, it is stuff verbally said, but because I don't have the recording, I'm not going to go into it, because I didn't record, because you can't record in a two-party consent state. I can show the text. His mother, you know, okay, I'm trying to calm it down. I'm like, please stop. She called her a bitch, okay? She called my mother a bitch. Now, I asked her, please stop, okay? Please stop. And then, you know, she just continues to just disrespect that boundary and just say, I'll call her where she is. And then she says something that I kind of took as a threat. She said something about, you know, she's lucky she doesn't come up there to my mother and give her a piece of my mind. I was not comfortable with that. And, you know, she kept going on about it. You know, she knew that my mom didn't approve, and, you know, we all knew that. We all knew that. But, I mean, it's just like, I tried to calm it down and de-escalate it, but to continue to push it. Now you had just threatened my mom. It's one thing to call somebody a name, but it's another thing to threaten them. I pulled my mother aside and I did kind of tell her what was said, and I showed her what was said. My mom absolutely was done. I warned her, do not do this, and she kept telling me, give me her contact info, and she was pissed. And I was like, oh, fuck no, bro. I told her, you know, don't do this. Please don't do this. Don't do this. I'm begging you, do not do this. Please. I was begging her not to do it, okay? Because I don't endorse harassment, okay? I was just, you know, communicating. You know, I communicated to them what she said, and I communicated to her what they said. Okay, that's basically what I did. I communicated.
At the end of the day, this is basically your mom protecting you, considering, like, I don't see how that'd be okay for, especially, like, in this relationship part of that.
She knew some of the things that woman said to me. This is crazy to believe, man, but she had found out, you know, some of the things that his mom did to Cody, and she got even more mad about that, man. You know, I remember her just, like, absolutely, just, like, she says, I ain't got nothing against the guy, man, but he can't stand up for himself, and you don't want to be in this sort of situation. I get where she's coming from, man. I was so desperate, and, you know, to keep it, you know, together, but it's like, after this, man, she was called a bitch and then threatened, and, you know, she found her Facebook, his mom's Facebook, and, it was bad. It was terrible. I looked at that and I was like, holy shit, bro. I was in shock. That's not my problem, okay? She said that. She had known, you know, what was said to me, what was done to Cody and all that. She knew about all of that. And I remember at the end of it, man, she told me that I have no problem with Cody, but the only problem I got is with what he's allowing. I can see where she went, but I will also say what she did was not okay. What she said was not okay. My mom, basically, she wanted me to be with somebody who was gonna stand up for me, and she knew about, you know, the guardianship thing. She knew about all of that, and she was just trying to tell me he's not gonna be able to provide for you, man.
Now that Cody was out there defending River at the time when the incident happened in the police, because obviously, as you can tell from the police station.
He's begging, like he's screaming, leave her alone, begging, you know, his mom to leave me alone.
But at the end of the day, still having to be that type of person to just escalate your relationship. Like you say that you care, okay? That's one thing. But at the same time, how can you be out here saying that you care for her, right? When in reality, you care for one side, you are willing to do something, but then all of a sudden you can't speak to her like how she feels. You deny how she feels. You just basically rub it off.
You gotta think like this, bro. Worldly deeds, worldly materials, you know, things you do for me in this world, man, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at morals. There's a whole saying that says, you know, people won't remember what you did for them, but they'll remember how the way you made them feel. Okay? You gotta think about that. Let's say I'm in a relationship with this dude, he beats me, okay? Or like, and he pays all the bills though. Do I want to be in an abusive relationship and have somebody else paying my bills? Do I want to be in that abusive relationship just because somebody's doing something for me? Or do I want to get out of that and, you know, help myself mentally, okay? You gotta think, man. Morals, you know, that what makes you valuable, man. Me, you know, a message saying that it wasn't her intention, she tried to be welcoming, this, and this. At the end of the day here, I've got PTSD because of this. It don't matter what the intentions were, bro. You're talking about what your mom has done for you and all that, try to be welcoming and stuff, then you want to compare it to my mom, who was just trying to, like, defend me, man. And, I mean, she went a little aggressive on that stuff, bro. It's going on about, oh, your mother's a different bag. That's double standards. What about your mother, who actually... My mom, the last I remember, I don't think my mom grabbed me in a bathtub and pulled me down. I'm just saying, man. Don't excuse her for a lot of stuff. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, if nobody was intending to hurt you, or nobody, but you still hurt me. She was trying, she did so much for you and stuff. Stop guilt-tripping me, okay? Stop guilt-tripping me so I don't speak out. We're not gonna do that, okay? It don't matter the intentions at the end of the day. It does not matter. It doesn't matter what was intended to happen, bro. The intentions just did not work from whatever you're trying to talk about, man. The intention was to get me to shut for condoms from now on. And you know what? I didn't. The intentions, nobody was intending to do this, and this to you, dude. Well, you know what, man? It's too late, okay? It's too late. No intentions. If this was not intended to happen, you want to come back like 7 months or 6 months later, whatever, and come tell me that or whatever, why don't you just apologize? Why don't you just apologize to me? Why don't you just apologize and say, I am so sorry I put you through that, instead of going ahead and saying that I'm the reason, you know, why your mother did to you. Wasn't her own words saying that you shouldn't be blaming somebody for your actions? You know, especially when she said that to me after I was cutting myself.
I mean, River, that she's too much to handle in a relationship. In reality, this isn't about her being too much. This is just about you not, I'm sorry to say the word, not being man enough, because it kind of feels that way. Because, like, again, if you're going to be in a relationship, you got to show commitment, even in certain scenarios. I mean, how would you feel in the terms of, like, if you're going through something and how you're expressing, right? And all of a sudden, if River, for example, were out here to throw you off for that. I mean, this is an example, okay? River never threw you off, especially with the whole thing with what happened to your mother in this. Especially, she was out here just stating how she felt uncomfortable, everything that had happened to her, and that she wanted at least support from this. Support, privacy. She wanted at least to know that you were a person that cared. And while you definitely did do that, primarily for small parts, especially for like the 911 call, which again, much appreciated. For her to be developed, a lot of people, like, I get it. It wouldn't necessarily be your fault if she developed PTSD because of what happened in a 911 call because of that. But what's really not okay here is the fact that you're still throwing out that her feelings don't necessarily matter because it's either too much to you, it's apparently attention seeking, and he matters to be worse. You think she's just playing around. And I don't necessarily play with people who consider playing around with like that. I know that for one instinct because I've had issues before where a person, like an hour friend of mine, honestly did commit that will traumatize me from this day. But whenever I hear people, when they always talk about I always make sure that they're not playing around with it. And I know River never does that. I mean, how can her being in a mental breakdown with the call that we had, like, I don't know how that itself alone could be playing around. We also got the 911 call. We've got the police cam report. All of this is real emotion. And if that doesn't pretty much prove that, I mean, honestly, I don't know what does.
I can tell you I also got a history of being in a mental hospital over something like this too, so. If you can't help that somebody's going through some shit, bro, you don't need to be with somebody. I'm just, love's not gonna be all comfortable and shit, bro. I know that. That's why I made so many risks of just, going there anyway, regardless.
And here's another thing to point this out, is because you guys known each other for more than 5 years. Now, I'm pretty sure since you guys have known each other for 5 years, you've had a strong bond relationship. And within that strong bond relationships, yes, we can understand you be out here developing trust in one another. You're telling, oh, what's going on, this and that, whatsoever. So if you're going to be out here planning to take on a relationship, you already know what's going to happen. What are the risks in this type of thing? And it honestly just kind of makes it really sad and disappointing how, like, okay, known each other for 5 years, okay? Friends for more than 5 years, or perhaps even that. And then all of a sudden, you guys get in a relationship, right? But then that relationship doesn't even last, not even 2 years. I mean, I'm thankful it lasted for a year, so that's a good thing. But what ended up causing the end of this relationship wasn't just because of the incident PTSD that River developed alone. It was because of the fact that you didn't even show signs that you cared for her. You can argue that you did stuff for her. We're thankful, and I'm pretty sure she's thankful. How can that compare itself alone from all of the other stuff? Now, there's another saying. Yes, you need to think positive from the negative situations. But exactly how can you think positive in a PTSD moment? How can you think positive after the 911 call? The whole grabbing in. If none of this was intentional or any of that, like, then explain to the part as to why, like, how this doesn't show, like, this isn't carrying signs or whatnot.
Explain to me why you left me 6 months or whatever, and 3 months in, you were telling people that you didn't like me or what I was doing or whatever on your Mirren Tech, Discord server, and then come back and say you miss me, bro. You're double-sided, dude. It's two-faced.
River starts speaking at a turn. You're out here saying that you are not liking what she's doing. Running back, running forth, like literally on and off.
You're in your server right now talking about a defamation case. Everybody knows what you're talking about, by the way. And then then you're saying you wish the best for me, dude. And then you're in somebody's DM saying you're trying to get me arrested for reporting to APS. I understand reporting falsely to APS is a felony, but the thing is, man, I told them the truth. Now let me tell you one thing, right? Those screenshots you sent to me about what your mother was doing to you, allegedly, or whatever. Now, here's how this would go. You got two options with them, right? You can either tell the truth, and your mom's gonna get some, legal trouble or whatever, probably prison time, probably removal of guardianship, or you can say you lied. It's either way, it's a serious offense for you to lie about that, and it's a serious offense if she actually did it. So you're gonna either pick your poison, and let me tell you, dude, they will put you somewhere. They will. You cannot do that, okay? And do not start blaming me. So if I'm hearing somebody's hurting you or whatever, throwing things at you, like slapping you or whatever, you expect me to think it's okay? You expect me to sit there and be like, oh, that's okay? Because of, the relationship you have with this person? Oh, it's your mother. No, dude. No, I don't do that. That's called, I'm allowing abuse.
There's a different line between this, okay? Parents do have the right to discipline their children from, like I said in the beginning, but if it gets to the point where it's too far in terms where, especially like, as have River stated, and you know this too, because you've told River about, oh, this is what's going on, what your mom is doing and stuff. And if anything like this happens, I mean, you have the right to communicate and talk. Yes, there may be certain issues that if you do this, it's a risk because you may end up losing something or this and that. Your safety is a matter of priority. And River's out here showing a lot of effort, showing that she cared for you.
I don't want him anymore, man. I don't want a man-child. I'm only doing this to protect my reputation because he's saying stuff that's not true to people, okay? So at the end of the day, man, I really don't care what he does in his life. I don't want to date a man-child. So you're not going to stand up for me? Are you too scared? I'm out here feeling like a dating somebody 3 years older than me, dude.
Cody, you're literally my age. At the same time, my only advice and my only, well, I guess you could say opinion from this is like, you gotta learn to not only just respect yourself, but also figure yourself out. And
this is what I'm trying to figure out here. What's gonna happen when you know somebody, like your family member? Because if you keep following one person, what's gonna happen when they're dead? Or what's gonna happen when they're gone? Or what's gonna happen, or whatever, man? What's gonna happen when they're not there? This is the part where you gotta figure out what you're gonna do with your life. If you keep living under somebody and they're gone one day, you're not gonna know who you are. You're not gonna know your identity. You're not gonna know how to do basic life. Okay? And I'm sorry to say this, man, but once, you know, I got away from you or whatever, and I will say that first 2 months or whatever, oh my gosh, I was absolutely messed up with PTSD and my medical condition. But after I got away from you or whatever, I started thinking about myself. I started thinking about people like me, Tonio, who actually cared. And then, you know, I started getting back up. You know, I will say I lost a job opportunity because, you know, of my PTSD, I have psychotic problems. But I got back up. And, you know, I figured out what I wanted. I figured out what I was gonna do. I've got a better job, a career path coming up, and I pretty much live by myself, and I got a motorcycle endorsement, and, you know, I'm about to be starting an actual animated series in 5 years.
As I said, this is just a little reflection to this, because like it needs to be talked about, and keep this in, like I don't see a point for River to keep this any longer in any case, because like firsthand it got to the point where obviously the police report happened. That was a personal matter sort of scenario. I personally believe that this issue alone just came through a lot of miscommunication from your part, Cody, and not only just through the miscommunications, but also because you're not being self-aware of a lot of misconceptions here, because River, she has done a lot for you. And while you may argue, as we mentioned before, that you have done a lot for her too, at the end of the day, it still doesn't excuse all of the negative stuff that came across. It's not an easy topic to reflect to, because when this is reflected, I mean, yeah, it will go back to like what everything happened, okay? Still, it doesn't necessarily mean that River didn't appreciate you. She did. Because I honestly believe that River does deserve better here, because like she needs to be with someone who obviously knows that cares for her, and someone who like goes in that level so that that when she expresses her feelings, isn't throwing her away for that, or any matters. Like if anything that happens across, like there's support coming across.
I have him blocked off Discord, all of my Instagram accounts, Facebook, my phone number. In fact, he kept calling my phone number so much, I had to change it, okay? I got sick of that, alright? And I've seen voice messages from March 7th or whatever. If you don't like what happened to you, oh no, the consequences of my actions. I'm sorry, but you did it. You did it. It's right here, all in evidence, okay? What I should have done is I should have just not ever went down to Florida, okay? That's what I should have done, alright? And I had a good time down there until that last day. It had absolutely wrecked me, dude. I remember crying a lot. I remember crying for a good straight month.
Like, I get it. It's pretty difficult. So, like, how are you gonna, like, see yourself again after the whole police report and all of the police cam and all that? Like, it's a difficult.
I had a lot of nightmares, dude.
And like, how are you gonna see yourself in 2 years afterwards, going back to Florida? And if you go back to Florida, I mean, obviously you're gonna rethink the entirety of what happened there. I'm pretty sure that this whole entire situation would have been better if you at least came in, apologized, or at least been more communicative. You know, in terms, instead of just acting like you're just too tired or you just don't want to simply talk about it. I mean, if the truth has to come out, I mean, it's not like River wanted to scold you for this. I'm pretty sure River only wanted to talk to you about how she felt.
Listen, you cannot just tell me your mother's doing this to you. You cannot just tell me your mother ripped up my shirt in a fit of rage. You cannot just tell me all that stuff and expect me to be okay with it. Firsthand, from my fucking hands, and, you know, of just doing that, man. You cannot expect that to happen, dude. You really have no right telling me that, you know, I don't know what it's like to have a family. Turn around and look at that. My family's all separated. I'll be the first to admit that, bro. We just, But my gosh, dude, come on.
It's not like River was beating on your mom or any of this scenario. I mean, for most cases, River was just mainly uncomfortable afterwards. For you to say something about, that this is what's going on, like she doesn't know what it's like.
Don't tell me I don't know what it's like to have a family. You know, your mom's committed a few felonies, dude. Mother was also a little aggressive about it, and I defended him. Okay, I kept my mother out of it because, you know, she was causing problems, but you couldn't do the same. You could not do the same. It's sad. I don't hate on people just cause, bro. You gotta do something to me, bro. That's my problem. Okay, the first thing you even told me about your mom. Hey, so my mic cut out, but basically what you're seeing right here is the first thing that I found out his mom had ever said about me was that I wasn't pretty. And keep in mind about the date right here, because I'm about 17 years old at this point. You know, obviously at that point it upset me, but nowadays I don't care, but I just find it completely rude. I already confronted her about it and she just called you dumb. So you know what, man? Okay, we're just throwing blame at each other, apparently. We're gonna talk about who made it public first. Was it me or was it him? And the answer is it's him, because he mentioned in an announcement in November, and keep in mind, we did not talk until, like, we stopped talking at, like, very late August. We stopped talking. But here's where I got a problem with that, right? He announces about, you know, our relationship or whatever. Alright, I'm fine with that we broke up, whatever. But what gets me is, like, he's saying he doesn't like what I did. Okay, cool. But what I'm currently doing as well. We did not talk for, like, little less than 3 months, and he said that. Also, the thing where he says he still doesn't like what I'm doing now, or what he didn't like. You know, if you don't elaborate that, man, people are just gonna randomly just not like me. Okay? That's where you messed up. You don't just say that, dude. You know, you could say, oh, we broke up or whatever. That's fine. But you don't say that. You really don't want to say currently at that time. It sounds like you're stalking me.
Obviously, announcing that publicly, I mean, I don't think that's even okay to even admit to say something public. Like, that's something between you guys. Why do people need to know about, like, oh, you guys broke up or something like that in terms of it?
We can argue, though, because, you know, people, you know, knew that we were together. You know, they may be wondering what's, you know, going on because we were partnered up and all that. And I guess, you know, it's okay for him to announce that because, you know, I get you don't want to be associated with me within the community, whatever. But I have a problem where he's saying, you know, he doesn't like what I'm currently doing. And if I do recall correctly, I heard a story about him stalking somebody else through multiple servers, you know, trying to apologize to them when they're trying to get away from him. I mean, that's another piece of possibility of a stalking. What bothers me about this, it's like he's saying, you know, he wanted to break it off or like, or that it wasn't together, he didn't like what I was doing and is still currently doing. Yet he messages me in February.
Okay, so the messages that were referred to in February based on him wanting his stuff back. Obviously, you already had him blocked, and then like 12 days later, I assume.
What started it is in February, he contacted me saying that he misses how things were. And you know, I did too. I admittedly did too, man. I missed him, okay? There's plenty of screenshots, pretty much a lot of voice messages saying where I missed him. I was really sad. I was really upset I lost him. I got voice messages of me crying about it, okay? You've seen it too, man.
Right on. I remember the messages itself. During the time when I was always in communications with River at the time where all of this was going down, primarily everything just started around August 28th after a bit of an incident, but we'll get into that later, of course.
He's recontacting me. And he said a lot of things to me, and I was not okay with it, man. He started saying, you know, stuff like, it's not like she hit you. That hurts. And then he's trying to guilt trip me by saying, well, my mom has done so much for you. And I'm also trying to explain to him, dude, that doesn't excuse anything, dude. That does not excuse abusive behavior. And he's over here saying, well, my mom has done this, this, and this. She's your legal guardian. She is obligated to do that, man.
We're thankful about some of the stuff that she did for you. There's no denying that, despite some of the positivity that was given for you. But, I mean, despite all the good and the bad, I mean, you were generally affected. You developed PTSD. For something that's traumatizing like this, it's a certain amount of resolve. My apologies.
She's your legal guardian. She's obligated to do that. I'm not obligated to drive 900 miles down there and try to, you know, talk to you and, you know, get to my family. I'm not obligated to do that.
That was your own choice that you wanted to do. You only wanted to do that to see Cody, or in terms you just wanted to be with your boyfriend at the time.
I did. I agree. I did. And I paid for the entire hotel visit. I paid for the parasailing. I paid for Legoland. And I will admit he did pay, you know, for some dinners, but I did the majority of the pay. In fact, I know I've calculated up to over $3,000 in traveling and gifts for him. And, you know, events.
Shit, that's a lot.
Yes, dude. And I remember I bought a Wii U off him, a Japanese Wii U, you know, to help him get out of debt a little bit too.
It's common. It's common in terms that you guys miss each other and stuff, but at the end of the day, like, a past situation like this would happen here along the way. It's just, like, how are you supposed to just forget that?
It's at the end of the day, I tried to explain to him, his mother made me uncomfortable. His mother did things to him. And you know, you can't just excuse that, well, my mom did A, B, and C for me. No, she still abused you. It's still what she did to you it's illegal. And I'm not standing for that.
How you said that you felt uncomfortable. In a situation like this alone, you would have at least, well, Cody, at least for the majority, would have at least been more communicative to at least his own mother and perhaps with you. I mean, he tried, obviously, with you. At the same time, like, you expressed your feelings. You expressed your feelings of how uncomfortable you felt.
I tried to talk to him about the event, you know, that messed me up, man, and he just did not want to talk about it. You can't have the hard conversation, man. Don't come back to me.
You mentioned how, like, he just doesn't want to talk about the conversation. If it is something that stresses him out, okay, I understand. But in reality, you can't just go out here and escape reality just because you're out here just saying, oh, I don't want to talk about it. It's going to hurt. I get it. Hard truths will hurt. Now for a reality that needs to be said.
I had to relive that day. I have nightmares about it, dude. I have to relive it, dude. And it's been going like this. I'm on medication prescribed to stop, and it won't stop. I'm on heavy antipsychotics, dude. I'd like to mention that, I believe I blocked him somewhere, I think February 7th, 8th. I cannot remember the exact date, but I did send one last voice message to him begging him to listen to me. And then, you know, I started thinking to myself, man, is it really worth somebody who makes you scream and beg and cry out like that? Is it really worth it? Is it really worth all of that, you know, for somebody who won't even listen to you?
It's not ideal. I mean, you expressed your feelings. At the end of the day, you felt the truth. You were telling everything that needed to be said. And all that happened around was for him to basically just shut you up in terms of, like, what your feelings don't necessarily matter, which, again, that is just not okay. I mean,
don't you worry, man. We're gonna get to that defamation crap. And I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna absolutely tear that apart. Because all of that he has said, man, it's not true, okay? And, you know, I'm gonna also bring up the state of Florida has something called an anti-slap law. Anti-slap laws are for, you know, to prevent people from suing somebody for defamation because they're speaking up about, you know, stuff like this type of topic. Florida's already got that in there, man. And I don't know if Mississippi does, but I'd like to inform everybody I studied Florida and Mississippi law before I made all this to be accurate on the law. I'm trying to make sure I'm not breaking no laws. I'm speaking the truth, okay?
It's like how you say, you know, you're just trying to be really careful. That comes along the same incidences that you've been doing since the start when the whole police report happened. You were doing it for safety and a concern. To get to the point where a defamation issue comes around.
I reported her to APS because I knew I should have done it way beforehand, and it's better late than now than never, because if you don't report that to APS and they find out later, I could be in some serious trouble. Not to mention, I'm seeing what he's telling me. It's like, when you like down something like that, when you like belittle somebody or just make it not a big deal, oh, it's not that she hit you, you're making it less of a deal than it actually is, man. You're excusing abuse. Like, you're still excusing abuse. You're just making it sound like it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal maybe to you because you're so just desensitized to it, but when you got like somebody like me, who's like 900 miles away from everybody, and you do that stuff to me or whatever, man, that's gonna mess you up, man. That's gonna mess you up mentally, dude. And I can, Antonio, we would do, you know, voice messages, and
or
you
voice
can
calls in
absolutely.
terms where normally I would just be out here calling River almost every day in terms to make sure how she's doing and stuff. That also leading to another situation since talking about the whole defamation, even though I'm not, again, involved into this, but since I'm a witness to most cases of what River has told me throughout her point of view, also comes around a cease and desist letter. A statement where he wanted you to basically say that everything that was going on was a lie or something like that.
Yeah, he asked me to post a retraction on YouTube according to the cease and desist letters. I got 2 of the same cease and desist letters signed by, you know, him and his mother. Okay? And, you know, I'm not gonna post something and saying I lied about all this. How am I gonna lie about all this when I literally have evidence right here, man? I could literally give the police over my Samsung phone and they will definitely confirm that all that stuff was written is in my chat logs, my phone logs, all of that, man. I can prove what I'm saying, but if you're going out here, you know, telling people that, you know, all of this stuff without any evidence, and you're saying this, and this about me without evidence, that looks like you're defaming me. And I'm not gonna deal with that, okay?
Same way, especially with the Karotomo servers and every other place that has been like talked about, especially since I've heard that he was temporarily banned. Well, I'm assuming that actually was different. He's automatically banned himself. I don't know exactly what the details are from that.
Well, I've talked to one of the moderators. It was all me that banned him, okay? Now, we did have somebody, you know, go in mod mail and tell, you know, them to ban him. Now, here's my thing. This is why I did it. This is exactly why I did it. When you're having somebody, you know, belittle and say stuff like, it's not like she hit you, and just, you know, excusing stuff like that, it makes you look at them and they got poor skills, you know, to moderate. And, you know, stuff like that, it makes me uncomfortable knowing that somebody like that is in a server, okay? And there as a moderator.
I know that there was a bit of an incident where people had thought that I'd shared all of this information. I did not. I want to be clear. I was not the person who did this. And I'm pretty sure
that was
River's gonna
miscommunication on my part.
That part
there
was
was
not from River.
Yeah, what I meant to say is I said that, you know, he knows he's not the one who sent all the information, okay? I may have made a miscommunication on that one, man. I apologize, but that's not what I was intending to say, man.
Like I've stated in the beginning of this video, like I've said before, that I'm not 100% involved in this, as only because I'm a witness based on what River has told me about everything, especially from her committed issue. Now, since I have mentioned about the whole, I know this has been told before, let me remind you, this is very, very delicate. You guys are going through a lot that's going on to your life. Understand that people are always there for you. There are people that are among you that love you. Given by many situations that happened from here with River. I received a call in August 28th. Only one call that happened and then another call that was after the aftermath. I was actually not as busy as I thought I was. Well, I was actually coming out of something I was going through. I received a call from River, in which I thought was so random, and what ended up being in that call was River going through a bit of a mental breakdown in terms of wanting to commit the bucket. She went through a bridge, she was driving through the bridge, and she was tempted to do it. Alongside, I was there making sure to calm her down, trying to talk her out of it, which she eventually did, thankfully.
I pulled over in the gas station because I remember it all clearly. I told my mother, I had lied to my mother that I was going to Plato's Closet, and I mean, she was already a little skeptical. She said, River, it's kind of late. And, you know, I remember I called off my work. I don't know why I'd call it off. I just felt like, you know, if I did survive this, I didn't want to lose my job. At the same time, man, I was like, fuck it.
It also comes through an occurrence in Instagram stories where River ended up making a statement about that. I assume it was like a close friend story saying that she was going to do it. I ended up seeing it right after the aftermath of all of that. Again, since I was busy that day, I didn't see it, but thankful from the call regardless of that.
I know something was said to me, but I can't exactly prove it verbally because, you know, I don't have a recording of it, but, so I'm not going to say what he said, but, in basic terms, he told me goodbye, and I did not try to recontact him. I told him my plans. I had told him my plans, and they thought I was like, attention-seeking and stuff like that, and, you know, you'd look at my body, and I have marks over my body. I have pictures of that.
In this a term of event, like, you've developed PTSD, your issues before. You went through a lot. It's still no excuse to be out here saying, like, that River herself is too much to handle. If you're not out here willing to take the risk to handle someone who goes through something, like, if you can't handle someone at their worst, you don't deserve them at their best. River going through all of these situations that she's going throughout her life is like basically saying, like, it's her feelings, okay? And just downgrading all of her feelings, like, if it means nothing to you at that rate, just like, how else are you gonna think that she's gonna respond? Like, she's out here obviously believing that you don't care, and whether or not you want to say that you do care, how can you necessarily just prove and show that if you're out here just denying everything about it, saying that, again, she's still too much over it, you just can't handle it. You keep on denying, you keep on being quote-unquote stressed out that some situation itself is brought up, you just want to simply shut it up.
Also like to add, if you think I'm too much, what about the fact that you're legally binded to your mother and I still stayed, despite all the restrictions? Here's the thing, man. I will be the first to say, yes, I get a little bouncy, a little energetic. I might, you know, do something on impulse. I admit that. I got that problem. I know I got that problem. But it's like, you know, I'm willing to admit it and self-reflect. Both me and me, Tony, are admitting self-reflect. We can do that.
Me and River have our own issues, okay? Given by many factors. I mean, I know a lot of people who are watching this video, if it's a premiere regardless. I mean, I've had my November, December issue. Again, I've done my own certain past. But
okay, I am a lot happier without him. But the problem with this is he wants to come up and just say some untrue stuff and then, you know, just downgrade all of what, you know, went on, man. I can't allow him to say that and just get away with it.
If it hurts that a lot of people are basically losing, or like you're losing friends, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, trust me. I understand the pain of having to lose friends like that. But like, at the end of the day, we're out here just trying, not only just denying, it's like, if you're going to try to defend yourself, like we've mentioned before, please show evidence. I mean, even then, you haven't shown evidence when it came to the Karutomo mod server. You didn't really do anything except you just kind of kept yourself quiet. You're just tired and you don't want to deal with this anymore. And I get it. We've all understand. It's not easy to take through, but it's not something to escape.
Dude, honey, you cannot escape that because, look, I don't want to recall it, but I have to live with that. I'm sorry if you're going to lose a bunch of people. I'll give you the positive about this. You're a great musician, but it's like, I'm separating the art from the artist here. I really wish I could say I forgive you, but I can't. I'd be a liar if I said I could forgive you. I can't, dude. And it's like, I gotta live with this, okay? And I mean, you know, dude, I see, you know, it's like, you don't want to fight your mom or whatever because of all the memories, but, you know, you did it to me, so, I mean, whatever.
If you're in a relationship and you've got to develop, you know, a relationship line between your mother and River, and all that. Like, I admire you from the help of the Karutomo server thing. I admire you with as a creator, as an animator itself. But I just can't necessarily associate with myself who just be out here denying every claim, my God. But when it occurs in a state like this, where you're just out here not saying anything, or you just simply want this to die down, I mean, okay, if it dies down, okay, that's one thing. But it's not just going to die down and be something that's going to be like a forgive and forget scenario. Like River said, like, he doesn't hate you, okay? This is not something about hating on any terms.
This here is explaining what actually happened, dude. This is me explaining my side of the story. This is me, you know, providing all the evidence because you lack the ability to do that. And, you know, I just... Look, dude, I don't hate you, bro, but it's like... You cannot just deny all this stuff and just accuse me of kidnapping. You cannot do that, okay?
If you're gonna be out here saying as if this is not hating, and why is River doing this, and you're getting more of the issues getting handed to you, Cody. But there's a fair share amount of differences here. This isn't some sort of threatening video for you or anything like that. This is more of a public statement in terms of perhaps maybe you can do better. I mean, I don't see the bad in people. Obviously, I know River doesn't see the bad in you because you have potential. You're a good kid. Reflect on yourself. Try to do better. And I mean, I don't know exactly what else can be said for you to kind of realize that. Obviously, making the whole cease and desist letter, I understand you're doing it for her to just stop talking or just stop bringing this up. How can she be out here to not bring this topic up if you're also doing this the same way?
Yeah, you're defaming me, if anything else, man. And man, I'm not gonna let you hide the truth. Look, man, I'm doing this because he's starting to accuse me of defamation and telling people a lot of things that are not true, and then I'm gonna clear it up. And accusing me of stuff that I absolutely did not do. So I'm about to destroy this guy's entire argument. Let's start with the first one, where he's claiming that his mom never even touched me.
Please, can you hear me? My boyfriend's mom attacked me. His mom attacked me. His mom attacked me.
His mom?
Yes. House, the mother pushed me out of the house. She pushed me. I got in the bathtub or whatever. She put her hands on me. Please don't hurt my boyfriend in there.
Both of those screams were when she grabbed me. She grabbed me first time in the bathtub and the second time to pull me outside as I was trying to get out of the house. Now you can look at under Florida statutes here. That is considered excited utterance, which means it's a really good piece of evidence to claim that somebody has assaulted me. Now for the next piece here, he's claiming that I was trying to get him to run away with me. If I was trying to get somebody to run away with me, would I be the one to call the cops? Exactly. Also, I've got evidence from years of him telling me that he wants to run away, and I've even discouraged him from doing it. And another damning piece of evidence is where he literally says he was about to run away with me. The only reason no arrests were made was because I did not ask them to press charges. I did not want to put him in a situation at that time where he would be taken away from his family, not know what to do. I didn't want to be taken away from him. I did not want to jeopardize his life, okay? I easily could have requested a supervisor. The thing about the police saying I couldn't go back there, that's a blatant lie, and I'll show you in the body cam right here.
Okay, so you can say goodbye to Cody right there, inside the door, right there in the hallway there. Okay? Mama stepped out will be there. Say your goodbyes. And if that's what you're going to do is take off and go back to Mississippi.
Yeah, why would I stay with somebody who got assaulted? Maybe because I was worried for you, man? Maybe because I watched them grab you? Maybe because you've told me all this shit throughout the years that what she did to you? I was scared for you, dude. And you know what? Your blatant admittance of her pulling your hair, throwing a DVD player at you, threatening to kill you. Why do you stay? Why do you stay? Make it make sense, dude. Bro, you did not break up with me. I blocked you, and here's the evidence of that. If anybody has a Samsung phone and uses Samsung messages, you can see messages that are blocked, okay? And I had it so badly, I could even show you my call logs of him, still calling my phone number. And I have him blocked. I blocked him off literally everything. I was about to make a police report over it. You left me for 6 months, man. I did not recontact you. You recontacted me, okay? Get it clear, all right? It's bullshit, dude. I don't want you. So you're saying I said things about your mother that made you feel bad about her. Then explain all of this right here. Those are your words. They're not my words, okay? Notice the year, man. I was 17 years old. I'm 20 now, man. This has been going on for years. See, you're saying and telling me all these stories that she did to you, dude. I'm not making your mother look bad. Those are your own damn words, dude. I did not force you to say that. You willingly would tell me that shit for years, dude, years. Oh, and to back up my claim a little bit more, I'm still telling him right here that his mother's got guardianship over him. We're not doing any kidnapping and shit, bro. Look at this entire conversation, my guy. Look at what you're telling me. You're telling me all this, right? And you're telling me you still want to be with me, bro. And then you're telling me what this woman's doing to you, bro. What? How do you expect me to feel about somebody who you're actively telling me is hurting you and has also physically hurt me as well, dude? Come on. Look at this right here, man. Okay? You're saying, you're scared that nobody's gonna stick up for you except me, okay? And this conversation basically says you wanted to kill yourself because you felt unimportant by your family. It's your words once again saying that she threatened you, bro. And then you proceed to blame me that your mom was treating you differently because we started talking about her differently. Yet right here, you said ever since you were 6, you've been attacked back then. I was not around when you were 6 years old. I was 3. Okay, I did not say that, because he caused me PTSD, I'm gonna cause him PTSD. Take a look at this. When I said he's gonna pay for it, man, I was gonna tell people what he did to me. But above that, he's claiming that we're talking about schizophrenia. There was nothing about schizophrenia. If I had schizophrenia, it would have been on my diagnosis sheet from a year ago. Now, I've had, problems with ADHD stimulants that have caused me to hallucinate, but this is a lot different. In fact, I made sure it wasn't any ADHD stimulants by not taking them, and I would have different things. It's like, Starius has given me, slight hallucinations. No, this shit is full out flashbacks. This shit is full out, literal, vivid hallucinations. This shit, I was not hearing auditory things, bro. That is not correct. I don't have schizophrenia. I have PTSD. I've got medication for it. I even got the nurse practitioner who told me I have PTSD. You want to know why I didn't seem to care when you sent me those messages? Because I had blocked you, dude. It's because of this bullshit right here. It's not like she hit you. Do you want to know how much that hurt me? I'll play you a voice clip of what I sent between me and Metonio. I've communicated so many times how I feel, and you know what he told me? At least she didn't hit you. At least she didn't. She still touched me, damn it. At least she didn't hit you. Crazy work, man. She still grabbed me. I keep thinking about it. It's so fucking scary. It's so fucking scary. It's so scary in those spots. She grabbed me. She put me in. She slapped him across the face, and he was upset about it. So I wanted to stick up for him. That's what I thought would be the good thing to do. And here he is telling people in Discord that, I just who's gonna do anything for me? Nobody's gonna do anything for me. He's gonna have fun block free on Discord, and people are gonna see the horrible person he does to me. I'm starting to think that man's a fucking psychopath. What can be next? If I came back, he would probably hurt me too. He probably would slap me and hit me in all the places. announcement you made in November, you said something about me publicly first, okay? Let's get that clear. We were not talking in November. We stopped talking in August when you decided, oh, I'm gonna leave you be because I'm too Okay, great. To add insult to injury, he abandoned me 10 days after I got out of the hospital, too. He knew about the ER visit, my medical condition, and I told him my plans to carry out a jump off the bridge, if you will. I need to read you out the laws of your own state, okay? In the state of Florida, it is considered a third-degree felony to knowingly report a false APS report knowingly. So even on the off chance that I had just reported something, but I did it in good faith, I would be protected under the law of Florida. Now, I did send the APS reporter, I sent her screenshots of what you said. I did not falsify any information. Those came out of your side, okay? You said that. And even if nobody found any evidence of any sort of abuse, but I have those screenshots, I reported in good faith. I'd like to add in, I was wanting to report it like all the way back in August, but I was really scared of what would happen. So you are wrong, alright? You need to educate yourself. It's actually very embarrassing. Somebody from Mississippi knows more about your state laws. Let me also add in, I had the body cam of your mother trying to pull Mississippi law on me while I'm in Florida. She's telling them, basically that my parents or nobody knows where I'm at and that I'm a minor in Mississippi. We're not in Mississippi, we're in Florida. But say I am a minor, say I'm 17 years old. And she says that, you realize that could be charges of, harboring a runaway. And with the adult knowingly aware that you could face charges if I were under the age of 17. And just so you know, even in Mississippi, I may be considered a minor or whatever, not age majority, but I can still leave if I felt like it. But here's the thing, man. I blocked him and he kept sending me messages.
This alone doesn't necessarily mean that River is out here making attention seeking, because this is not it. When River reflects on how she is feeling, this is a real true matter. I don't see how people can honestly just go out here faking suicide alone. She speaks the truth out of her turn. And that's the one thing I've seen since I've been her best friend in the community for more than 5 years. I know she's not a person to do this. From the call that I received, I don't know how anyone can fake that. I'm only a witness based on two things of any matter, from the issue and from everything River has told me. So I'm speaking from her side of the story throughout all of this. And I quite frankly am on her side. Now, yes, Cody, you can argue to specifically say what it is you want to say on your side. But given by the fact that you've had, honestly, more than months to do this, being honest with you, it's way too late to this point. Since the whole thing that happened in August, you probably had till like November or perhaps October, to be honest. I know that you've been trying to talk to River about like that she needed to stop with the this, because at the same time, I'm not going to be out here to control River into what she thinks. I mean, she had every right to speak what she needs to say because it's the truth. And you may argue that this may be a lie, but it isn't.
Yeah. The reason why I'm making this in the first place because you do not know how to stop lying, dude.
The easiest way that we can put this is just, you need to at least be more honest to yourself, and not just to me, to River, but to pretty much everyone in the community at this rate.
I'm out here defending myself. I don't want to have a future with this guy. I don't want him to contact me. I don't want him to keep talking about me. He started it first, publicly, in November. If you wouldn't have said that, man, maybe we wouldn't have more problems right now. If you would have never recontacted me in February and said a lot of things, we would not be in this situation right now. If you don't like the consequences of your actions, then maybe you shouldn't have done it. I don't want anything to do with you by the end of this.
Let me tell you read what you sow, Cody. Keep in mind of that.
You reap what you sow. I'm not gonna let somebody be lying about me, okay? I'm not doing that. It's like, it's ironic you're trying to get me for defamation, yet you're the one who has not given me any shred of evidence, man.
I don't know how many times I'm going to make it once again clear. I'm just a witness to this, Cody. If for some reason I end up getting in letter about this, like I said, I'm not here for any trouble, and you know that. I'm simply just here speaking in terms of helping River. I'm helping River based on like everything that she has told me, because I agree to her. It doesn't also mean that I don't agree with you about defending yourself. I mean, I agreed that you had every right to defend yourself, but at the end of the day, it still just wasn't okay for you to just treat River this way. If it wasn't your intentions, okay, understand. But at the end of the day, you still what you did anyways. And you just gotta accept that. You can't just out be here denying the stuff that you quote unquote didn't do. You're just gonna blame it on River.
Keep doing this with me, you take me to court, man. Here's what's gonna happen, dude. Because I have, everything I need to prove. Defamation per se is when, somebody falsely accuses you of a crime. There was no false accusation of a crime. If you try to take me to court and try to sue me for that, and I got this evidence right here, and they find out I'm telling the truth, you realize I've got the opportunity to press charges, okay? And I will. I'm trying to tell you, you gotta back up. You gotta stop talking about me. I don't appreciate it.
Everyone in their own personal lives can reflect to this, Cody. I'm a person who can reflect to my externalities. Even then, River can also reflect to herself based on what happened. And so can you. We're all human beings. That includes you too, Cody. And even as a human being, you need to learn from this experience that you just can't be out here doing whatever you want or please just because you want to shut River up, because all of a sudden, quote unquote, you think that she's ruining your reputation. She didn't ruin your reputation. You did from all of this. All River did was speak the truth about what's going on. Especially with Kero Tomo, it wasn't her fault to say this. She was just simply saying this. And the fact that mods have specifically said that they've had trouble with you gives pointers as examples. Again, this is not her fault. You've been under thin ice before.
They made the decision. I sent them the evidence, and they made the decision. This is what I got a problem with this. Stop telling people, saying that all these people who don't know you or me, they might not know you, but how do you know that they don't know me? Don't say that, okay? That's called assuming. Assuming it means you're gonna make an ass out of you and me. Stop saying that, man, because you don't speak on my behalf. You don't know my side. His mother's looking at least 5 years in prison from just grabbing me, okay? Who knows if we added the other charges that I've seen in his own testimony. There's also fines. You better make a really smart decision to just take the L and admit what you did. If people don't want to be around you because of this, that's not on me, that's their decision. I'm just defending myself.
I understand that the cease and desist letter that came across was simply so that River needed to stop talking about whatever this is. Remember one thing into this whole video, Cody. I know that the cease and desist letter, as in that example alone, is for River to basically stop talking about this, or at least whatever public statement this is. And the way I see this is a closure to this. I hope is the last video that mentions about you.
I don't care what he does with this, as long as he stops talking about me. You're gonna make a fool of yourself. A bunch of people have already said you're making a fool out of yourself. People have seen the letter, so I suggest you stop pushing it, okay? Everybody knows. Everybody's sending me screenshots of what you're saying. So stop. The statute of limitations in the state of Florida is 2 years, okay? I have 2 years to report this. Now, I don't want to do this, okay? I do not feel like, wasting my time in pressing charges. I don't. But I do need to tell people that what you're saying is wrong, and what you did was wrong.
This is more than just a matter of safety for River. This is more of a matter of safety of the community. For the Kero Tomo server to do that as an exhibit A, as another intern, it shows because, again, we've mentioned this before. You have had issues before in Kero Tomo server, and the fact that they had to ban you over this proves that. So again, this is not only just a safety for her, but a safety for the entire community to realize that, this is your true color for most matters. All it takes is a simple redemption and a simple change. Acceptance isn't guaranteed. It is something that you need to work on yourself to do so. I'm still willing to take my own redemptions for my certain personalities. I can do it. It's gonna take time, and so can you. You just need to do better. That's basically the whole point of this video.
I'd just like to say, man, this dude was my inspiration all those years ago when I was 14 years old. This is the dude that inspired me, and I looked up to him. I gushed over him when I was 14. I thought he was the coolest dude ever. And we had that romantic relationship starting at 16, and he did admit he liked me when I was 15 and all that. And I didn't want to get into all that, but this is the dude. This is the dude I looked up to for all those years. Almost the entire time I have been in this community, This was the dude I looked up to. I thought he was the coolest guy ever. I was so amazed, bro.
Okay, adding that all up, Cody, okay, to tell you truly, like, I admire you for always being such an amazing creator. To tell you the truth, dude, I've known that you've been jealous of me since then. River had told me. And honestly, that came out as a shock to me because, I mean, I get it that you wanted to be this #1 creator. And, okay, I'm sorry if I took the spot, but as a creator, I'm just doing what I love. And I know you're doing the same way. I'm just doing my research to what I'm at least trying to do for growth. And, well, even then, even though you were jealous of me, I still respected you regardless. So I have no hatred to you for that. It's just... it's more about the disappointment with not only to River alone, but the fact that it had to come to this point way that I have to be involved into this video, not only just because I want to protect River, but also because doing better to myself, but also because I just want you to understand that you need to do better.
Look, dude, I hate to say this. My 14-year-old self would be crying right now if she were to hear this, but I'm disappointed, dude, and I'm just, you know, to look up to somebody for this long and this is how it ends.
Hey, I'm up. He's fine, honey. I'm Deputy Flores. So here, let's go back over here. Do you have any weapons or anything on you? Do you have an identification card?
Man, it hurts.
At the end of the day, all of this video is to summarize is for you to really see yourself of everything. This is not a video to attack you. And again, for everyone who is watching this video, this is not a video for you to also come at Cody. This is not any of this.
Don't do it.
This is for you guys to understand the true sides of Cody. I'm a good person with good faith into this. I don't hate you, Cody, and I know River doesn't hate you too, because we do see good potential in you. We see good change with you, and it all starts from your realization.
You gotta figure yourself out, man. That's all I'm saying. I don't condone harassment, okay? Please do not, bro, send harassment. Nobody send harassment or shit or whatever, man. If y'all just don't want to associate with the guy, that's not on me, but please, come on, man. Don't send hate messages. Don't threaten anybody. Don't do that, man. Don't do it. This is my testimony of what happened and everything else in between.
In addition to that, I'm also a witness just from this alone, so I'm not 100% involved in this, so I'm not here for some sort of cease and desist letter or sort of cease and desist issue myself. I'm only in this for protecting River and also because I'm doing myself a favor to do better, and that's just for those two reasons alone.
My suggestion here, man, is just don't push anything, okay? Don't push anything. I promise you, you do not want to push anything with me, dude. Okay? Do not. Just I'm asking you now, you better stop. Okay? This is my warning to you, stop. I just want you to stop talking about me. Stop lying about me.
Keep in mind that if you want River to basically kind of stop with this video alone will most likely be her stopping whatever it is with you. So I've told her to just not continue with this. The only reason why this video alone is only happening is just for her own conclusion to this. And from here on out, she'll just stop and she'll no longer do whatever it is.
You can go walk away from this or whatever. But, I've got to live with PTSD now. So, you know, I don't care if you don't give a fuck about it. I don't care, okay? But I'm just gonna say right now, dude, the damage has been done. I mean, stop sending letters to my grandmother's house. Stop talking about me. If I catch anything else, man, I promise you I'm gonna find out. Don't talk about me if you ain't got nothing, you know, truthful to say. As for all the stuff, you know, as for all the memories, that hurts. Can't do nothing about it. Past is past. It's been done. The deed's been done. Don't matter the intentions. The deed has been done. All right? So this is my final thing to you, okay? Goodbye, Yoda Killer 3000.
Hope for the best for you. Yes, just do better for yourself.